and and we are live. We are so live. We are live with LinkedIn training, lead generation, taking some LinkedIn lead generation to the next level. Now, some of you who've been with us a while have probably seen the original LinkedIn training session, which was all about updating your profile. And I think we've done a bit of LinkedIn lead generation before that. So I've got a slightly improved version of that going forward. And the reason I'm excited about LinkedIn is just because it's so massive, absolutely massive. I didn't even realize that there's like over 700 million subscribers now on LinkedIn. And I was kind of always a little bit, sort of cautious and a bit dubious about LinkedIn. But apparently the engagement is massively up. As people are looking for jobs, businesses are looking to be more relevant. But anyway, I'm going to show you a presentation. The goal for this training here today is for you to, number one, I think actually, because most of you probably need to do this, is make your profile a little bit more relevant. For you to have a LinkedIn company profile for your business. Really, really powerful. For you to understand the protocol of using LinkedIn invitations and direct messaging. Yeah, there's definitely a protocol, and for you guys to use the LinkedIn network to improve your visibility on the internet. There's a hidden secret within LinkedIn that a lot of people are not aware of, which I'm going to be revealing today. The presentation will probably take us to just on to the top of the hour. So make notes, but there is a presentation available at the end. I'm actually going to jump between presentation and actually showing the whole system in the live environment. And at the end of this, just want you guys to see that your business right now is more relevant than ever. Yeah, small to medium-sized businesses are in need of a digital strategy. Yeah, and at the center of that strategy is the company website. Yeah, so whether you are a one-man band, owner-operator type of guy, or a small to medium-sized business with, I think the marketplace that we're in is just, from one-man bands up to 250 employees. Yeah, but the typical characteristic is that the owners of these businesses are busy doing what they're doing. And your job fundamentally is to help small to medium-sized business owners grow their business, right? So the messaging that you're putting out there, yeah, is about how you can help them grow, and that is really, really important to understand. And so I want to use that as a bit of a premise to the whole session. Because your job is not out there to go out there, just trying to sell stuff. This is all part of a bigger, sort of value proposition, and LinkedIn is kind of just one part of that. Yeah, and at the same time, it has the potential to generate leads for your business. And then how to engage with that is what you're going to learn today. Cool. All right. So enough of the preface. Thank you very much for being here. Good to see Dennis. We got Natalia here all the way from Toronto, as well as Rick O'Brien. Good to see you, John, Andrew, Elliot, Gladys. Elliot's in twice. Wow. And Garrett's here as well. We're probably going to get some more people joining us during the presentation. So thank you very much, Alex, for helping out with this so that I can focus on the presentation. And what I'll do is I'll share my screen, and then I'll share you my presentation as we're going to start with that. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. No, I'm not going to share it. I'm actually going to present it. If somebody can unmute, please, and give me a yes if you can see this.
Looks good, Ed.
Yes, we can see.
Cool. Really powerful statement from LinkedIn as they have grown to become the largest professional network out there. And remember, LinkedIn was designed by recruiters for recruiters to help people find jobs, but it's become so much more. And now it's just an awesome way for you as a small business owner yourself to reach out and meet prospective clients. But fundamentally, within that mission statement, connecting the world's professional to make them more productive and successful. And this is actually really quite key because LinkedIn has become a go-to place for people to do research, to learn, and to find out more about becoming more productive and successful. All right, so just bear that in mind when you go out there with your strategy after the training today. And I think this is relatively true. By and large, what we found is that a lot of my target customers, when I used to do LinkedIn training, they never used to do social media at all. In fact, it wasn't really a done thing. So in order to appeal to their better nature, I used to just say up front, social media is a waste of time. And I think that's still true today. I really do. Yeah, I think if all the things that you've got to do in a day as a small business owner, if you could stop doing anything to do with social media, I think you'd be better off, right? So therefore, the amount of time that you do spend on social, oh, pardon me, go back, needs to be productive and useful, right? So some of the things that I'm going to give you today, yes, they will be in addition to what you're already doing to become successful as a business owner, but they are really designed to become more productive and useful for you, right? Integrate LinkedIn lead generation as part of your sales activity is really, really important. And just understand that LinkedIn is just 700 million people, yeah, and they all have the potential to become your customer. Yeah, so it's just a massive database of actually really quite up-to-date information, guys. These are people who have created a profile and volunteered their professional information for free for you, right? But therein also lies it's kind of the cautionary tale that I'm going to say about LinkedIn today, right? Just because somebody's offered their information for free, they're not saying, well, hey, go and sell me something, right? Really important to remember that one. Okay, so just as a mantra, your day will now consist of valuable activities helping you build up your most important asset. Yeah, and this falls straight into the super sales training that Grant has done. Yeah, that as part of your daily routine, you need to be generating a prospect database. Yeah, whether this is creating, just generating cold contacts from small business databases, to creating quality contacts from just giving them a call and just qualifying the data, to booking appointments and all the rest of it. This is a fundamental part of it. So actually going in LinkedIn and reaching out to people, yeah, and gathering up that data into your prospect database is a useful and a very important asset for your business. And I've been doing it for years. Yeah, I've got over 30,000 people in my personal contact database. Yeah, been doing this for a while. So I used to do this for big companies, mainly financial services, solicitors, and accountants as well. So pretty boring people, really, by and large. Yeah. And I had to make them more relevant to the world. So, woohoo, poor me. So what is LinkedIn? Well, I think I kind of made that clear. It's just a massive database of contacts, potential prospects, and potential customers for you. So some of the things that you'll get from this is that you'll have an optimized profile. You'll have some goals to reach within your strategy. Set up a dashboard. Learn how to do messaging. Learn how to manage lists. Yeah, and have a bit of a group strategy going on. Groups are absolute gold on LinkedIn. Okay, so we've done this by and large, and if you don't remember this, there is training in the resource center available for you to optimize your profile. And what I always recommend you guys do is do that first before you go out prospecting. Update your profile. Really, really, really powerful. Yeah, for you to be sharing lots and lots of useful content. As of today, at the end of this presentation, you'll learn a little bit more how to enhance your profile and to become more relevant to a wider audience. Understand that there are some goals to hit. Yeah, so number of connections, number of invitations accepted, your messaging strategy, know how many messages 1, messages 2, messages 3, messages 4 you've set out, how many appointments you've generated from LinkedIn. Yeah, how many follow-ups. Appearances in search is also a valuable metric to have, because that's actually some free stuff that the free account will give you. If you pay for an account, then there's lots more useful information available. But actually, everything that I'm going to show you today, you can do with a free account. Right, so the process on LinkedIn is really to identify prospects and position yourselves to reel them in. Yeah, create a community to appeal to those prospects. Reach out in a strategic way to bring them into your network, and establish yourself as a leader they can trust. Yeah, the group strategy at the end of this, you will keep your name in front of on a regular basis. Yeah, and it's more on the basis that it creates value and awareness rather than you just trying to sell them something. Really, really crucially important about this strategy. And it's a gradual process. Yeah, you're not going to find somebody straight away that wants to buy your product. Yeah, but it will, once done properly, will give you a steady stream of people inquiring about your services. Very much in the way of quality contacts. Yeah, at some point, somebody's going to want to see that 73-point audit, right? And they'll be asking you for it. Other benefits you'll get from that is that people will travel to your website more often, right? Because from time to time, you're going to actually share something that's been on your website. So they actually track back to your website. So the activity that you're generating on LinkedIn will create traffic for your website as well. Really, really powerful stuff. Okay, it's a systematic system for creating relationships and building trust. Okay, we are going to create, first of all, your prospect profile. Yeah, that's really, really important. Yeah, understand your customer. Right now, you have this exercise already. It's called the customer avatar exercise, which is part of the conversion funnel mastery course. Okay, really, really powerful. I would recommend you do that. Yeah, I'm going to briefly go through that on this section. Yeah, you'll be able to create a prospect map, understand where they are on LinkedIn. Yeah, based on the groups that they're at and the conversations they have. Yeah, and understand what a value identifier is, because that determines what content to share. Okay, you're going to build an authority leadership platform, which is actually a LinkedIn group. Yeah, and this is optional, guys. You don't have to do this, but this is a really, really powerful way to generate leads from LinkedIn. And then connect. Understand how to build that database. So value identifiers, right? And you're going to get these slides by the way, guys. Yeah, understand that people surround themselves with certain things on a daily basis. So your prospect, yeah, whether it's plumbers, whether it's people that manufacture tractors, or whether it's golf professionals, yeah, they're all into certain things. All right. Understand pain points and barriers, buying objections. That's really important in your messaging. And we have a lot of this available already within the actual resource center. So you'll understand a lot of these frequently asked questions. Understand what or who influences your prospect's buying decision. Understand what actions they are taking in order to reach their goals. Yeah. Before and after state. Does anybody recognize that from the Conversion Funnel Mastery course? What does success look like for them? And then the emotional thoughts and emotions that people go through. This was a presentation that I did for big financial services organization. So the goal was to generate 60 appointments for them, and between 300 to 400 connections per month. Don't have to do that, right? But that could be one of the goals. Create a multi-touchpoint campaign. Yeah, after the initial connection, a thanks for the connection message, send out an interesting article, then follow up with a request for a phone call, and then the next one, the last one, is a request to do a 73-point audit. All right, and as you can see, this is a 5 to 6 week process for each potential connection. And the reason we do this in this way is because most people, and as you are starting to become a little bit more prolific on LinkedIn, yeah, you'll find that they connect with you and then within the first second send you a message trying to pitch. Yeah, and it's for that reason, well, most people who are on LinkedIn will just disconnect you at the end of the day. It's been an absolute waste of time trying to connect with them in the first place, if the first thing you're going to do is just blurb all over them. So really powerful stuff. Again, I'm going to send this to you. This is the whole campaign sort of mapped out. I'm not going to go through too much because it's a bit too complicated. Okay. Create your sales dashboard. Just bear with me a second to see who else is there. Oh, hello, Suzanne. Great to see you. Welcome to the group. Excellent stuff. Really, really good to see you, Suzanne. What we'll do is we'll probably stop in about 10 minutes and then take a little breather for any questions that you may have. If you've got any questions in the meantime, just use the chat on the side. Cool. Cool. Oh, hang on. Got to share my screen first before I start sharing again. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So hopefully everybody who's started with us in the last couple of years will have been set up with what's called Google Workspace now. Used to be called, previously known as G Suite. So Google Workspace is a brilliant environment, yeah, that will give you everything from the browser, Google Chrome, yeah, to Gmail, yeah, so email through Gmail, calendar, Google Drive, yeah, to store all your stuff, 30 gigabytes worth of storage included. A great place to do all sorts of other things. It's your entire Office suite. But one of the magical pieces of the Google Workspace environment is actually using Google Chrome. Because with Chrome, you can add widgets to the browser to become an absolute ninja lead generator. And the reason I developed this, guys, it's really actually quite to maybe take a step back. The reason I've developed this over time is because when I first started in sales, and I got my first proper sales job, I probably had about 3 or 4 different sales jobs up to then, and mainly it was telesales. And still at that stage, we used paper most of the time. But when I got my proper sales job, I got a car, I got an area, yeah, and what they gave me is this massive box full of customer files, and it was just unbelievable. And this was probably beginning of 2000s, yeah. And by this stage, I'd already gone completely digital with everything, right? And suddenly I had these bits of paper to deal with. So my first job was to actually put all of that in an Excel spreadsheet. And then I lost my computer. It actually got stolen out of the car, and I didn't have a backup. So it was unbelievable. So I'd done all this digital work, and I did really well in the job. Everybody's really impressed with what I'd done, and then I lost the actual equipment. So at that point, I vowed never to lose anything ever again. And it was around the same time I actually got good with Gmail, starting using cloud-based solutions. And this was early 2000, so this is what 20 years ago now. And I've always thought this is normal. So what I'm giving you is just the benefit of my experience. Yeah, it's just an excellent way to do things quicker, better, faster, smarter. And so to get a lot of these extensions for your browser, you need to go to the Chrome Web Store. Okay, so this is the Chrome Web Store, and this is like once you're in Google Chrome, there's some other things, and there's an entire different session where I can show you how to completely optimize this workspace. But fundamentally, it's your mail, it's your calendar, it's your Google Drive. Okay, and then with Mail and the Google Chrome extensions, you can do some really awesome stuff. So make some recommendations in this presentation. Not least Visita, which we already use, and we have now an awesome reseller agreement for. But there are actually some free stuff that you can get from the Chrome Web Store, which is absolutely awesome. Okay, so there's some recommendations in there you'll see in the next slide. But it just gives you everything in one place, and you'll never ever lose it, right? Once you sign into Chrome, Chrome will go across your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and if it all gets destroyed in a blazing fire, then all you have to do is buy a new laptop, sign into your Chrome account, and everything is there. Okay, absolutely awesome. So some of the plugins I'm going to show you is X-Ray Search, Link Clump, Visita, you see there, Bitly, and actually I've got another one here, which is not Flipboard, but it's actually Feedly, which I'm going to show you. But X-Ray Search is essentially a website, save it as a favorite, and it allows you to search LinkedIn using Google, right, and create lists and all the rest of it, and it's completely free. So in LinkedIn, if you want to have the advanced search facility, you have to pay a minimum of £50 a month. And if you're on Sales Navigator, it's something like £70 a month. And that's actually really quite expensive for something that you probably won't use that often. Okay, so use this, and it's free. Okay, it's called X-Ray Search, and you're going to get a copy of this presentation. Don't worry, all the links are made available in there. The next thing you're going to use is a system called Link Clump. Now, Link Clump allows you to open, copy, or bookmark multiple links at the same time. So it's just a really, really quick way to open up lots and lots of LinkedIn profiles, and then to go to every single one of them and then send them an invitation. It's just a much faster way to do that. Okay, Bitly, really cool. You can create personalized links, and actually, when you send something to someone in a message within LinkedIn and use a Bitly link, there is actually a bit of tracking every time they click on it. So this gives you a bit more measurement. Whereas at the moment, if you were to send a link to somebody within LinkedIn and you didn't have a tracker on it, you wouldn't know that they've clicked on it. Okay, you wouldn't see the results. Visita, I love Visita, absolutely amazing. If you want to set up with Visita as a partner, then we now have a way to do that. We're going to hopefully have a session with, well, it's already booked in, I think, on the 28th with Shira. She's going to come and do a presentation on that. So I'll leave most of that to her. But I love it because it's a way to, sort of really capitalize on those appointments. Duck Soup. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this. This is a bit ninja, and actually it is now actually come under a bit of scrutiny. A lot of people are losing their LinkedIn account by using this system, so I wouldn't recommend it at this stage. So just ignore that. And then we've got Nimble, which is another CRM, which I used to recommend, but don't anymore. So we'll leave that. And guys, this is super powerful. Your LinkedIn mobile app. Use it. It's on your phone. It's absolutely awesome. There's a really, really cool features to have LinkedIn on your phone. And I can show you a couple of really cool hacks with that as well. So LinkedIn groups. Right, I'm actually going to show you this. LinkedIn groups. You can actually join up to 50 groups on LinkedIn. Did anybody know that? Up to 50 groups in LinkedIn, and then you kind of get cut off. But it's a really, really cool way to connect with people. Really, really is. So let me just have a quick look here. So if you go to groups there, so okay. So can everybody see this okay? Just a quick heads up. Yeah, you can see this. Okay, cool. So if you go to here, this where it says work, right, and then you go to groups there, you can see I've got quite a few groups that I'm a member of here, and I'm maxed out on mine. So every time I want to go to a new one, I have to get out of it. But so it's a search, right, and then there's some groups here, and then you can add some filters, and you can filter groups by. Okay, cool. There you go. Awesome. So you could put in here business networking in groups, right? Absolutely huge. This has become insanely valuable, especially during lockdown. Lots more people working from home as we don't have any face-to-face networking. I'll put that in there, right? And then once you go into a group, you can request or you can see 170,000 members in here. Okay, I've got actually 72 connections in this group already. And about this group. Okay. So you can see most of these people are in the marketing world. China expats, networking, network after work, net party, business analyst, China job. So just have a good look and find ones that are to your locality. Find ones that are, there you go, Lancashire, business networking. I always recommend connecting with the people that own these groups, right? And then there's a bit of ninja style that I can show you as well. Okay. So if I go to that group in here, for example, I can actually message the group people. Which is also really cool. And you can message people even if you're not connected to them. There you go. Boom. So just quickly show you again where I was. So if I just click see all there, yeah. So I could go to any of these people, third degree connection. I could actually send them a message. How cool is that? right? Press enter to send. All right, and we haven't connected. So that's a bit of a ninja style. So you could potentially message these people here, right? So that's a really yeah, and this is when you're a member of a group, right? Now, this guy's going to go, what the hell's going on here? Yeah, there's no relevance there. So I'm going to show you how to be more relevant within groups with your profile, so that messaging actually becomes super powerful. Just quickly, the first step of your messaging campaign is typically to send people an invitation. Okay. Now we have mentioned this before. Yeah. So, and when you click on connect on a profile, you can now add a note. Yeah. And I keep my most of my messaging ready done. Yeah. Which I use quick text paste. And again, you'll get a link in the presentation where you can download this to your computer. I don't know if it works on a Mac. I'm sorry if you use a Mac, but I can do here a shortcut and it sends the message and I can just go boom, right? And typically what I would do then is if I go into a profile that I'm interested in, I would look at what other people have looked at, and then maybe, you know, that would be a good person to connect to as well. So I'll just quickly do that. On the free account, guys, I would keep this to 50 connection requests in a day. If you go over that, you're going to start seeing LinkedIn kind of, you know, stopping you from using it properly. And then you have to wait, you know, a month before they kind of unlock you again. So just keep it to 50 a day, and then you know, that should keep you in good stead. So if you send out 50 connection requests a day, typically, I mean, if you're doing your job properly, most people will connect back to you, and that allows you then to send out a follow-up message. Now, I've created a document, he says, which I'm going to share with you. Not that one. I'll send it to you, where I'm recommending, here you go, LinkedIn prospecting guide. Sorry, I did have it already. So there you go. There's the actual strategy for generating appointments. And then you see here. Now, as an additional strategy here, what I would recommend is that you create your own group. Now, that is a bit of a long-term strategy, I must admit, but it is invariably going to be a more successful way to get more people to connect with you and to engage with you, because you are just sharing something of value. Okay. As a shortcut would be to maybe set up a group with someone else, or you know, the director of your own business networking group. Ask them if you can invite people to their group. Yeah, because if you're already business networking, yeah, they might have their own LinkedIn group, and then you could ask to become an admin. Yeah, and then you can send out an invitation to join the group as part of an admin. And again, it kind of, I mean, that would be the shortcut for you to use this group strategy. Shy of that, you'd have to create your own group and then start to curate that. But that is quite a long tail strategy, and it's quite hard work as well. Now, the second part of that strategy is to be sharing useful content. Now, you can use your personal profile for that anyway. Yeah. So the simplest way to share some content on your profile is just to, you know, to post something. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, post something here, right? And then what this also allows you is connected with your Twitter, so it will actually send something to Twitter at the same time. You can share stuff to group members, yeah, which is really powerful. Okay, or you could share events if you want to, yeah. But you know, you can share anything, and that could be a link to an article, This could be your own written article, yeah, event or video. So really, really powerful stuff. This is actually a blogging platform. The way that I would recommend you do this, and this is again in conjunction with the group strategy, you can do this. Create your blog post on your website. Okay, really, really powerful. Then duplicate the headline and the first paragraph on LinkedIn. Yeah, use the same image, use the same headline, use the same first paragraph, but then create a read more with a link to your website. Yeah, so to read more, yeah, so you kind of finish with ... after the first paragraph, read more, and then link it to your website. Yeah, and then you have this initial part of the blog published in LinkedIn. Yeah, but then people want to click on that and go to your website to finish reading it. Okay, really, really, really powerful. You're publishing it into LinkedIn. Okay, you're publishing it into LinkedIn, and then by publishing it into LinkedIn, publishing it into groups, yeah, you're sharing it with your network and the wider expanded network. Does that make sense? Have I connected some dots here as to why you're doing this? Right, this is all about sharing value. Right, I said I was going to just stop and take a breather. So if we just want to, anybody's got any questions at this stage? Anybody wants to unmute?
Does it make sense to do, maybe have, you did the cold calling club. Does it make sense to maybe have a session similar to that on LinkedIn?
Yeah, happy to do a one-on-one as well, if you want to do that. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, does it make sense? So you've got your profile, part of the 700 million, right? You've got your company page, you've got your group potentially, and what it does, your profile has this power to create an influence. Not only does it have 700 million members, yeah, LinkedIn is ranked in the top 50 websites in the world in terms of traffic and engagement. Yeah, so it has huge pull. Yeah, lots of people spending lots of time on LinkedIn. Yeah, so yeah, and then you've got your website, yeah, which is dropped into the desert that is the internet, yeah, which is a tiny little sand grain in the desert. Yeah, and then you've got your LinkedIn profile, which is now where you do your networking. You're becoming more relevant. Yeah, and then you're directing traffic to your website. So it's really, really powerful way to sort of go, hello, I'm over here. Hi. Yeah, more people are going to. Does that make sense?
Ed, it's Elliot. Do you think a company page on LinkedIn is valuable, or do you think it's more of a personal thing? Just
absolutely, company page super valuable, because the reason why, because it says linkedin.com, your company name. Yeah, so you're directly associated with LinkedIn, which LinkedIn is this, behemoth on the internet. It just makes you more relevant, right? And then your blog post that you create, you then put a post on your company page. Yeah, but it's certainly worth having the space. Yeah, so anything which is linkedin.com/ your company name is going to come up in search at some point, because LinkedIn is so powerful. It basically takes your company name and drags it up a bit. Yeah, you get more authority. It's basically like a link. It's a no follow link. Yeah, it doesn't have real SEO value, but if you do a search for your name on the internet, for your personal name, it comes up with LinkedIn profile. Yeah, if you have a company name and you have a linkedin.com/ company name, if you do a search for your company, LinkedIn will pull that profile up. And especially if it's got engagement going on, and that engagement only comes from you networking effectively, right? And networking effectively is by adding value. Very similar to actually face-to-face networking. If you're the annoying sales guy in the networking group, nobody wants to talk to you. You're sat in your own, mate. But if you're someone who's generating lots of value, right? Oh, Ed's the guy we need to talk to about this, because he's going to give the value. So it's a great way, a great place to share content. And look, the ratio is that, by all means, promote your event. By all means, promote your product or service. But most of the time, this needs to be other content. Now, the challenge with that is we're busy lives. We're busy, right? Busy, 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 running a business. So generating content is hard. So the hack that I was going to share with you is use a system called Feedly, and I'm going to share. So were there any other questions, by the way, before I move on?
Ed,
Oh.
I'll ask a question, mate. So based on using this process, and I know obviously you're training Alex at the moment to do this,
Yeah.
and to sort of get results from it. How long should we be spending using LinkedIn each day, would you say?
It's a really, really good question. It's a really, really good question. I need to massively caveat this, because the core activities in your business take priority. Yeah. So if you've got our process for generating sales, right, which is a 6-step process, yeah, which is cold leads, yeah, go into business directories, find local contact, yeah, and kind of LinkedIn's part of that, yeah, because they're cold, they're people you don't know, right? So I recommend, the first 3 hours of your day, so between 9 and 12, yeah, is generating quality contacts. Yeah, so creating getting the cold data and then phoning them up to create quality contacts. That needs to be 3 hours of your day every single day, because only then you start creating a quality database from which you'll be able to book appointments going forward. So I would start with half an hour a day. Yeah, within half an hour a day, spend a couple of hours, really fleshing out your personal profile, create a company profile. At this stage, forget about the group strategy. Yeah, if you're starting out on this, forget about the group strategy at the moment. By all means, go and become a member of groups. Yeah, and if you can persuade your business networking leader, your local business networking leader, to make you an admin on their group, happy days. It's worth the question, right? Definitely worth the question. But actually generating your own group, that's quite a lot of work, and needs quite a bit of attention. So you're better off doing the quality contacts exercise, yeah, booking appointments, and as part of that, half an hour sending out invitations on LinkedIn, yeah, and engaging content on LinkedIn. So half an hour to an hour a day, I would say. That fair to say? Yeah. But please do the other things first.
I think it's a question of where you focus time, isn't it? Because I mean, from a social media perspective, I'm not a huge fan, because I like doing stuff that gets results. and out of everything that we do, LinkedIn is the one that seems to be the most effective when it comes to social media. If you're gonna, I mean, my view on social media is when you're at the sort of level of a partner where you've got so many plates to spin, and you've obviously got a lot of things to think about. It's very easy to get overwhelmed with all the things that you should be doing. So that's why I kind of like to put time limits on stuff and commit to something without overthinking it. So if LinkedIn is, you make sure your profile's set up in both your personal and your business, and then you spend half an hour a day using the system that Ed's given you, which is make that connection, send them the first email, send them the first message, follow up with the second one and the third one, like a robot. For me, the way I approach it is right, that's that box ticked. I've done it. I can tick it off my cookbook. Let's do the other stuff. And what I do know from social media is my expectation of the results is relatively low, and it's more about creating the awareness. It's more about saying, right, here I am, and at some point it filters through. But the group strategy that Ed's talking about is something that's, I wouldn't say it's new, but it's certainly something that lots of people are benefiting from. So I know there's Blam partners that are doing really well out of this strategy, but you've got to get used to the platform in order to start leveraging the results.
Yeah, and the group strategy on LinkedIn is the same as on Facebook, by the way.
Facebook, yeah.
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 So a lot of people are having lots of success with Facebook. So it's about networking, delivering value, and sharing valuable content. Yeah. Now that includes stuff from your own blog. Yeah. That includes offers and promotions. Yeah. Invitations to events and stuff like that. But most of it is actually curating other people's content. So that was going to be the next thing. Yeah. It's hard, finding out what works well and what is relevant to share. But find your favorites. I recommend you do that. Find your favorites. Find the people. So share grants content. Yeah, it's cool. It's good content. Yeah. But find your favorites. I mean, there must be people in the industry that you want to emulate. It could be, I'm going to say with massive caution, Gary Vaynerchuk, because it's not everybody's thing. Yeah. But it could be stuff from, stuff that you're into. Yeah. Your own personal development stuff. Right. It could be Grant Cardone. There's loads of content there. It could be Tony Robbins, if it's more on that side of things. There's loads of content there. And you're perfectly entitled to share that content, give your own comment on it. It takes minutes. Right? It really does, because it is what they call it. Is it elevation by association? Yeah, if you're constantly the guy or the lady who shares that, then they say, well, they're useful. Right? So if then you suddenly turn around and say, like, hey, what's going on? Maybe we can have a one-to-one at some point. They're going to say yes, because you've been engaging in the group. You've been part of that group. You've been useful in that group. You've been, you've not been hiding away. That's the thing. I think that's sometimes the problem. People are like hiding away, and then suddenly they pop up and they go, "What the fuck is he?" Excuse my language, but that's kind of what happens. It's like, where's that come from? So there is a the success comes with being consistent about it. So the hack that I was going to show you, and I'll show you now, and you don't have to use Feedly. Flipboard works for this as well. So everybody heard of Flipboard, and that there are other paid-for systems as well that you could use. But I've always liked using Feedly because effectively Feedly I can keep adding content in there. So I've got a favorites here. So I mean, it's just there, isn't it? Convince and convert. And then all I would do is copy the link, and then paste it into the group. Yeah, if you pay for Feedly, by the way, you can you can just share this. You can link it up with.
Ed, do you want to just explain what Feedly is?
Feedly is a content aggregator. Yeah, so in the old days of the RSS feed, yeah, and RSS, by the way, stands for really simple sharing. Okay, you basically gather up your categories of content, and then I can go into technology, and here it just gives me all the stuff that I followed over the years in relation to. I don't read it all, but that's the thing. There's stuff in there. So this was the West Midlands stuff. So anything relevant for the West Midlands, Birmingham, yeah, I can just share that really, really quickly. Does that make sense? Yeah. So another one that you could use is called Flipboard. Works quite well on an iPhone if you're that way inclined. Yeah. Oh God, no, I'm not going to. Oh yes, it's remembered me. But it just allows you to aggregate, so collect lots of content feeds, quickly make a decision based on the category, and then share that content without you having to go out there and research it all. Right? And I didn't say this, by the way. You don't even have to read the article to share it. Yeah, so you could just go in here and share that if you want to. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody okay with that? So technology, self-improvement, just stuff that I've gathered up over the years. Okay. Any questions on this? Cool. So my strategy for this then would be next, once you send out your connection request, either invite them to a group or share some useful information, right? And most recently, I've been absolutely delighted to have been able to share stuff that we've been doing with David Rahman. Yeah, so I can now send them to listen to the podcast or send them to YouTube to watch the Friday Feeling Mindset session. And I'm not trying to sell them anything. Yeah, the strategic intent is just to be helpful, and which is great on LinkedIn at the moment, because every other message that we get on LinkedIn from people is just buy my shit. It's unbelievable. It's like, no. So in case I mean, it's even apologizing for it. There you go, apologies, he says. And then he just blurts stuff at me. Yeah. Is that not bothered in any way to build a relationship with me? And sadly, he's just going to get switched off. Right, just to quickly go, where am I?
Just worth pointing out at this point, Ed, that the same thing applies with social media as it does with anything else. The customer value journey is relevant. So the reason that we give value first is for the same reason that we'll do a lead magnet on a website, for the same reason that we will give value on any other form of social media. Same reason that if we're at a networking event, we wouldn't just go up to somebody and say, do you want to buy a website? It's about nurturing. It's about us building trust. We did that a couple of weeks ago. We did a whole thing about building trust. And, the sum of all these different parts that we talk about on these sessions, whether it be the cold calling, or whether it might be email marketing, or it might be LinkedIn, or it might be other social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it might be, the process stays the same. It's all about the nurture, give value first. When we speak to somebody and we ask if they want to have a 73-point audit, it's because we want to give value first. And the same thing applies in everything that we do. And time again, what we do know is that as human beings, because we know we want to sell websites, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And that's what we would do instinctively if we don't get into the habit of value first, value first.
Cool. Absolutely. I just appreciate that we're coming up to the top of the hour now, and we're kind of running out of time a little bit. So I want to invite you to ask me some more questions and make that relevant. I'm sorry I didn't cover everything in the presentation, but hopefully you've got something from this. So just to sum up, focus on your profile first, make it shine, really polish it up. Do a great job. There's loads and loads of ways to share content using your profile. I would say use the materials that we give you. Yeah, go into the resource center. There are blueprints, there are case studies, there is Grant's blog. Yeah, happy for you guys to share that. Yeah. There's the newsletter content that you can take out and use for yourself. Go into the resource center and repurpose some of it. Yeah, just use it. Make an effort to make regularly connecting with people on a daily basis on LinkedIn. Make it part of your daily thing. Don't exceed the 50 mark if you're on the free account. They will lock you up, and then you can't use it anymore for a bit until they unlock you. I think it takes about 2 to 3 weeks before it comes out. I don't actually measure it because you stop using it for a bit and then it comes back.
How many times have you been locked out, Ed?
I used to get locked out all the time. Yeah, I used to get locked out all the time. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, we paid at the beginning of this year. We paid for it for a little while, but then I just think, well, that's a lot of money. 70 quid a month. It really is. There's lots of stuff that you can do for free, and if you're only going to spend half an hour or an hour a day doing this, guys, the free account is great. Use the LinkedIn search facility. I think that's part of the reason, you're looking at lots of people's profiles as well, is now starting to work against you on the free account. Use the group strategy. Go and connect with 50 groups, right? You can, right? You can connect up to 50 groups, which means you now can, I showed you that little secret hack. Once you're a member of a group, you can message these people, even if they're not connected to you. Right, so find some relevant groups to connect with. What else did we cover? We covered the content strategy. Yeah, I mean, generating content's hard, but use content aggregators like Flipboard or Feedly, to share relevant content out there. But go and pillage the resource center. There's tons of stuff in there. Yeah. You don't have to be the expert. All the stuff's there given to you. Yeah, use the what is it? The 10 secrets, 10 pro secrets download as part of that whole messaging strategy. Yeah, after the initial, nice to be connected. Here's some useful content. Share that out. It's sending people to your website to download it. Right? It's generating traffic for you. Yeah, and that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Anything else to add? Anybody any questions?
I'm just going to have to say thank you and goodbye. I've got to jump on my 6 o'clock. So thanks, Ed.
Right,
that
thanks,
was awesome.
Grant. Cool. I'll stick around for a few more minutes.
Thanks, Ed. Got to go. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Alan, Gay, John.
Cheers.
Ed,
Did you just kill a cat there, Ed?
He's just being really annoying. Whenever he wants something, he just knocks stuff off everywhere. Honestly, nothing's safe. I don't know what he wants. I guess it's dinner time. And I'm afraid to pet him because as soon as you do, he just takes your hand off. Yes.
Get a dog.
Yeah, thankfully, you were in my earphones because that's kind of the number one topic of conversation in our house at the moment. I hate it when we bump into puppies.
Ed, when you were talking about the Feedly and Flipboard websites, and you said you could just post stuff, does it give you the chance to post on with either your personal or your company profile?
Yeah, it used to, but it kind of, they started to monetize it now. So when you pay for it, it gives you sort of enhanced features to use other platforms actually to connect to and post directly onto your LinkedIn profile and stuff like that. But I still kind of do it old school. I'll just copy the link and then copy the title. The open graph, sort of nature of modern sharing will, when you post a link into something like LinkedIn, it will automatically pull in the image from the blog post and stuff like that. So, it's no biggie. I mean, like I said, I've not really been focused on it too much lately. We are going to focus on it again. So maybe we'll look at reactivating that. I must actually see if it could potentially work with Blam Social, although I've not really investigated that too much. But I used to use Buffer for posting on social, and it used to work with that. And then you could just schedule it. But I've been kind of out of it a little bit. So I used to be like you guys. I used to do this for clients. The other thing that's probably on the recap is use the Google Chrome ecosystem. It's there. It's massive leverage. It just helps you save so much time in doing things. I'm going to send you a sequence of different messages that you can use. Yeah, just keep using that over and over again. And once somebody's connected with you, just use that as part of the cold contact, quality contact strategy. And one really powerful question. In case we lose touch, Andrew, could I have your email address, please? I used to ask that all the time. That's a massive win. I've got a cold contact. I've now had a conversation with him, and he's given me his email address. Right? That email address can now be used to send something useful. Right? The problem I used to have is I used to be too quick off the handle, and that's still a bit of a problem nowadays. Sorry, I'm just joking. Try to sell them something, but you just have to wait. Yeah, if you wait, 4, 5, 6, and the thing is, this pipeline matures over time. Yeah, so as you keep adding to it, you'll get to that 5, 6, 7, 8 week milestone. Yeah, but the problem is you're starting from nothing, so there's potentially nothing for 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, which is like you see, but that's going to come around. So by the end of June, yeah, you could potentially have leads ready to pick up from this. So it's worth investing maybe half an hour a day at doing these things. And it's the same for the cold calling strategy, by the way. Exactly the same. It's not going to deliver results on day one, and it's not going to deliver results after a week. It's not going to deliver results after 2 weeks even. Yeah, but then by that time, you've just given up, right? And it doesn't work. Well, no, it does, but you have to just keep going. Because eventually that activity starts backing up. And then suddenly you've got appointments in your diary, and then you're suddenly too busy, which means you become less desperate because you can say to the people who actually want appointments with you, well, you know what, I haven't got time this week. Can we do it next week? And then they go, oh, I must be really busy, so it's really good, which means you can charge more for your services. Yeah, and it all stems from you building up momentum in that database. It really does. And that's why we've always been a little bit reluctant by offering other strategies. Yeah, because actually the fundamental strategy just works. And the main reason most people give up on it is because they just haven't followed through on it, right? And they try to sell too early. But anyway, we kind of become a bit of a broken record as far as that concerned. But hopefully that was useful. Always good to share some LinkedIn stuff. And one of the really quick ways to get a win out of LinkedIn is to connect with everybody you know, and then tell them that you've started a digital marketing agency selling websites and apps, and then ask them if they know somebody who wants to buy a website and get them to refer to you. It's the simplest way to get a deal, is to ask a friend to help you. Mate, I'm struggling here. I've started this business. Nothing's happening. Can you help? Yeah.
Like
really
I
powerful. I know you did. But
Yeah.
So just ask for help. Yeah, we're here. We're here to help. Yeah, and ask a friend for help. Just ask them. I said, look, I've started a digital marketing agency. I need customers. Can you help, please? Help me.
Who has
Whoa.
extra customers? I take them.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Yeah, wouldn't that be lovely? And we will have a strategy in place, although probably end of Q2, where we'll be able to share some leads with you guys, or at least a bit, the strategy a bit further down the line. So I hold my hands up. It's hard work. It really is hard work. It's digging for gold. So you're digging with a shovel and a bucket at the moment, whereas you haven't got the machinery in place yet. Do you understand the analogy? Yeah. If we could all afford the machinery to go out there and dig for gold, yeah, with diamond-headed drills and all the rest of it, yeah.
LinkedIn is great. That's a good place to find
It is,
leads.
but daily consistent activity. Daily consistent activity. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This was the Blam Partners Inner Circle Success Training session. If you're watching this on the replay, where are you? Great. If you're watching this live, I love you guys. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Good job, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Alex, do you want to stick around for a bit?
Yeah,
Cheers,
cool.
Garrett. See you soon, Gladys.
Bye.
Thanks, Gladys. Cheers, Natalia.
Bye, Ed.
Bye. Thank you.
До свидания.
До свидания. Пока.
Пока.
How do I get out?
I'll kick you out. Bye bye. Hang on. I've got to stop recording. Oh yeah.